Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Left of Center, Belgium's top-rated podcast. I'm here with Kevin Smith, Lindsey Parasco, and that didn't roll off the tongue.
Welcome back, Lindsey.
Wow.
And John Vesmar, the great producer.
It's already giving me crap about my new last name.
It did not roll off the tongue.
You'll get used to it.
Here's a good question. Being the, feminist that you are, I noticed on Facebook that it just says Lindsey Parasco. Like, was it always your intention to just change it all and tell McDermott,
legally
F
it's
off,
gonna
or
be...
what was the...
It's
what? Your poor dad here.
So,
tell your dad now.
I got eliminated.
I've explained this to him.
I got eliminated from Facebook.
Did this get explained?
I did not.
I
was under the understanding.
He just doesn't listen to me.
I was under the understanding it was going to be McDermott Parasco.
It is McDermott Parasco legally.
Not on Facebook.
On Facebook, because I live in Griffith. Every time I comment with the last name McDermott, somebody goes after me for the last name McDermott.
Welcome. You got it. Just something you got to live with.
I just want to comment and talk about crime happening
too.
in Griffith without being harassed. So I switched it to Parasco so nobody knows who I am.
Does that sound like a good
that bad?
It's that bad.
That Griffith page gets kind of nasty sometimes.
What do you
think your dad puts up with?
I don't look at the pages.
He ran for office. I didn't.
You just got dragged in to the podcast.
I don't look at those pages. Just pages. There's nothing.
That's how I keep in contact with what's going on in my city.
I have a secret for you. There's really social media.
If you're going to tell me to just ignore it, that's not how it works.
That's where I'm going. Social media is turned into just it's like reading the crap house walls. Like there's really, it's not very often you look at social media and you're like, man, that really made my day. I mean, I don't think I've ever felt that way.
I would delete my Facebook, but I have your Facebook page to run. So
true. Yeah, you have to read that. You have to read that crap.
That's my job, to be on Facebook.
Well, Linz, congrats on the wedding. It was very cool to watch.
It was very tiny.
John, do we have anything? Do we have
itty bitty
anything to throw up here?
It was nice.
It was really nice.
It was very nice.
It was a COVID wedding.
How'd you guys feel about that? I mean, it's.
Oh, look at it.
What do we got?
It's gonna go up and Oh.
Where is? Oh, there they are.
She looked pretty.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The happily wedded couple.
Yeah, it was nice. Marissa only cried once.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
Yeah,
John, we get our money on the air, or
I think we got under.
I thought 3 for sure, but I should have thought about it. It was such a quick ceremony. I mean, she'd have been bawling the whole time if she cried 3 times. But she did. There was one significant pause
towards the end.
She had to get her crap together.
Yep.
Yeah, that definitely was a cry.
It was a nice addition to the event.
I think there might have even been a sniffle.
There's sniffling going on.
Yeah. So she was the under, though. Congrats, Marissa, on getting the under.
On the under.
I have a really funny story about getting married, actually, because we were wearing our masks, right?
Yes.
And Brian is he's got a very calm face. So all I could see when he's wearing his mask is his eyes just kind of looking around. Because he's
not calm.
He's
no,
shit, what am I doing?
To me, it looked like his eyes, he was just looking around very bewildered, but he assures me he was smiling. He does these weddings a lot. So he's memorized it, right?
I saw him crying a little bit.
Yeah. He's looking around and there's this moment in the middle of the ceremony where I was like, oh my God, I think he's about to pass out or something. And also, Brian's mother said Dad was looking like he was about to pass out too, and she was like, "I'm gonna have to catch this guy." And she's like,
"You're talking about
Brian's dad?
No,
right.
You.
Oh.
Really?"
She said that you were looking around. You probably were holding back some tears, and she thought that you were going to pass out.
No, I wasn't about to pass out. Of course, you're watching your daughter get married. I mean, it's emotional.
Very cool. Well, congrats, Linz.
Thanks.
COVID wedding. You're a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
And we'll have the big wedding when COVID's over and the vaccines kick in.
For the crap heads that want to start talking crap about us having a wedding in the middle of a pandemic, I'd like to point out that it was only moms, dads, total. Brothers, sisters,
grandparents.
And grandparents. That's it.
I felt bad for your mom. Couldn't make it.
Right.
She's out
she's in California.
Well, I have 5 grandparents. So
yeah, you do. I saw her online though. Watching.
Right. Well, they were definitely watching online.
For sure.
Grandma Sue from California was watching.
Kelly.
Grandma Kelly from New York was watching.
Too, that's right.
Trisha from New York was watching. I mean, there was a lot of people from elsewhere. A lot of people watching from the region, obviously.
Trust me, I would have wanted many more family members there if I could, but
yeah.
Well, you were loved virtually.
I was very loved virtually.
But also afterwards, we went to Gambas, which is nice, and they put us in a big room. And Lindsey and Brian had thought this out ahead of time. Instead of having multiple houses at one table, they separated the tables so that my family, we under
We
one
had
roof,
3
we had our own
families
table.
and 3 tables.
Oh,
so.
smart.
And
Lynn.
we were in
very
one of those
socially responsible.
Yeah, we were in one of
Brian
those
and I
rooms in
were
Gambas
separate.
with like 30-foot ceilings too. So
Well, at
it
least
was
you
very
guys-
safe. I mean, so like for the crap heads that have no life that want to talk crap.
How dare you?
I think it was a very safe
Who's
event.
talking crap?
There will be people.
I haven't seen anything.
Probably all those people that you don't see anymore because you changed your name on Facebook to Perosco, so you don't get any crap anymore, Lindsey.
Yeah.
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 Well, good.
She won't be changing her name if she's looking for a job or something like
Uh-oh.
that. I have a feeling it'll
It's
be.
going to be Lindsey
McDermott.
McDermott Perosco legally.
Yeah.
Wow, how very nice.
Yeah.
McDermott Prosco.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a lot on the back of a jersey.
Brian.
It's a very long six-syllable last name.
Yeah. So that's so technically, is that your new middle name or McDermott?
No, my middle name's still Maxine.
Okay. Yeah. Lindsey Maxine McDermott.
I'm not getting rid of Maxine.
You got
No,
4.
that's a good
You got
one.
4. Yeah.
By the way, now you have a new son-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've known Brian. I mean,
course.
Lindsey and Brian have been together 4 years, Lindsey.
4 years. Yeah.
I mean, so it's not like, I'm just meeting a guy. Like, I know him really well. He's been a part of our family. He went on vacation with us to California, like.
He's been vetted.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been vetted. That's why it wasn't really, for me, I was real good news, obviously, but also like when, because they're going to have a public ceremony when it's proper. And that's why to get married now just made total sense for a lot of reasons. Obviously they're in love. They're going to get married anyway. Obviously, the finance person in me is very happy they got married before the end of the year because you get the married filed jointly this year, which is nice. And
Hell
not only
yeah.
that,
Tax advantage.
Lindsey gets benefits through her husband now, which is great.
Don't get
obviously,
sick. Don't try him out anytime soon.
obviously
Thanks,
the
Obama.
father in me is very happy about that because I knew her status. When she quit her job to go to nursing school, she gave up her benefits, and that's a scary thing for a dad to see your daughter with no benefits. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's indicative of kind of
Yeah.
the issues that we have in
Yeah.
America.
Totally.
Yeah.
So obviously, I always think about that. You want your kids to have jobs where they have benefits, and I knew that for her to go to nursing school, that she was giving that up, and that's super scary. So this marriage helps take care of that as well, which is nice. So they're a great couple. They've been together a long time, and it made a lot of sense for them to get married now. And we'll do the public ceremony down the road.
Yeah, well, very exciting, Linz.
Congratulations,
Thank
though,
you.
Linz. It was a nice wedding. It turned out really nice.
Welcome
was
to
nice.
welcome to number 36. We had what a 30. By the way, Lindsey, thank you for the menorah. Happy
You're
Hanukkah to
welcome.
our listeners.
We should light them.
Well,
It's the
we talked
fifth
about it.
night of
I was
Hanukkah.
worried about it, like lighting the tree on fire, and then we had
Well,
like a plastic.
Yeah, it's nice,
issue.
though. We have our little menorah kicking.
Absolutely, good work, Linz.
Yesterday, this is something I want to pass along to. It's like a public service announcement. It's a serious public service announcement. And it's something I said to my staff yesterday. And it's something that Kevin thought I should repeat on the show. So I'm going to. This is for, every time there's a fatality in Hammond from overdose, I get texted by the police department, by the fire department. It's something that we've been doing for the last few years. And it gives me insight as a civilian into a problem in our community that a lot of people don't realize, which is, overdoses from ingesting drugs, cocaine, heroin, and how many people are, overdosing and forcing the fire department or the police department to revive them. But not just that, how many fatalities we're having from people ingesting cocaine that's laced with fentanyl, and then they literally drop dead. I had a friend of mine, somebody I knew fairly well, about a month ago. Him and a buddy of his were snorting cocaine, and there was fentanyl laced in the cocaine, and they both dropped dead on the scene, like right there. And it's just, I just want to put it out there. Like it happened again over the weekend. We had a number of fatalities and a number of overdoses in Hammond. And quite frankly, the firemen and the policemen that respond to save the victim that's overdosing, they save the victim and then usually end up in a fight right afterwards because the victim is pissed off that they were saved, basically, and they fight.
It's an amazing. I think one of the things you see in city government from the inside is you hear about a lot of these tragedies that it's just not. They're not reported, right? I mean, I think the police yesterday said, well, a couple things amazed me. One, every policeman has Narcan on their person.
Every police officer,
every firefighter
yeah.
has Narcan
Yeah.
in their truck on their person.
Narcan's available on over the counter too.
That was
by the
another
way.
thing I never knew.
Mhm.
It's
You can go to
available over
Walgreens.
the counter. You
Right.
can go get Narcan. I mean, I think like you said, look, I assume no one in this room is doing cocaine with fentanyl or heroin, but you may know somebody who is.
Yeah.
And I think you called it like it's on fire right now.
It is like if you know somebody that's using cocaine or heroin and they're gonna die. I mean, and I'm not like I'm not a freak about,
sounding the alarm.
Right. But like I'm seeing it. It seems like it's worse than I've ever seen it. And I've been watching this for the last 3-4 years. I've been watching the daily doses of, the overdoses. And it seems like we're on fire right now. And every once in a while, when I get a lot of doses, I talk to the chief and I say, it seems like there's a bad batch out there. And because there's a batch that's killing people. And instead of just overdosing them, it's killing them. And it seems to me right now that there's a bad batch out there, and we're seeing a lot of fatalities, fentanyl related. And you may buy a bag that you think is cocaine, and in fact, it's cocaine laced with fentanyl. And if you do too much of it, you're going to drop dead.
Well, another thing I think
that's a scary thing.
That's a reminder is don't think this is like a Hammond problem or like a poor community problem. I mean, if you live in the richest community in the region or in the area, I guarantee you there are people on your block, in your neighborhood, doing cocaine or heroin. I mean, or in your neighborhood. It's something that's out there. Don't think you're immune from it, and just be very aware. If you believe someone's doing it, just try to do what you can to get them either into some addiction program, or at least let them know this is happening. It's scary.
I think some people think, oh, it's cocaine, it's safe. I mean, the fact is the cocaine may have been safe, and then it may have been cut with fentanyl because somebody wants to increase their profit margin a little bit, and maybe they got a little bit of too much fentanyl in that one dose you're about
not
to
regulated.
So it's scary stuff, and it's a bummer to talk about. And I just want to start off the show, and I've seen too many people dropping, either dying or overdosing and being revived. And it's putting public safety in an awkward position. These police and firemen that show up end up fighting half the time when they're trying to save somebody, which is crazy.
It was amazing. Yesterday we heard that a fireman got kicked in the head 2 or 3 times by a
by the victim is laying there being revived by the firemen, and then the victim's buddies are beating the crap out of our firefighters while they're trying to revive the victim.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And Mayor, I know that you specifically wanted to become part of the multi-state opioid litigation, and you made sure that in that litigation all of Hammond's numbers are in there because you want that story to be told.
True story.
Yeah. So sorry to go from your wedding to
I know, right? We're going from hey, congratulations on the wedding. Also,
people are dying.
Overdoses are skyrocketing.
So don't do that, Linz.
Well,
on your wedding night.
As a teacher, previously as a teacher, I noticed that during the COVID, when people are stuck at home, not only are overdoses skyrocketing, drug use is skyrocketing, but like domestic situations are skyrocketing, abuse, CPS calls. I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're all stuck at home for the most part. And it's not doing us any favors, that's for sure.
Let's cut some commercials here.
Let's do that.
You want to start off with your part there, Linz?
Are you ready to roll?
Oh,
Mrs. Perosco?
Mrs. Perosco.
Yeah.
Mysterious Mrs. Perosco.
By the way, Vera, good job uncovering for me last weekend.
She did a great job.
Very good job.
Yeah.
All right. You're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from politics to important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. And if you can't get enough of us, follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LoC Pod, LoCPod. If you can't listen in live, download our episodes from the Apple Podcast or Spotify app and enjoy our show at a crystal clear 410 kilohertz per second. Just search Left of Center and look for our red and blue logo. Also, don't forget on those apps, Apple and Spotify, don't forget to subscribe and rate. If you mention me as your favorite part of this podcast, I'll give you a high five when this COVID thing is over.
Virtual high five.
When it's over, we can get real high fives.
All right. Real skin touching skin.
Yes. Also, do you have money? Do you own a business?
Are you
running for office?
I have a business. I'm running for office.
No, you're not.
I'm perpetually
not right
running.
now.
Yes, you are.
Well, if you have money, please send me an email at leftofcenterpod@gmail.com, and we can get you ad space on our podcast.
All right.
Awesome.
Get a hold of Lindsey.
Thanks, Linz.
Have this former English teacher write your ad for you.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Linz.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to like, rate, and review our show. It's important for algorithms and all that fun stuff.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Let's do some sponsors.
All right. You want to go or you want me?
You go ahead.
Misprint Printing with both Munster and Hammond locations. Rick Baltzenberger and his team are there for absolutely all of your printing needs, including calendars, magnets, and all types of great holiday gift ideas for your business to let your customers and clients remember you all year long. They're responsive, fast, and good. Banners and signs of all sizes, from wrapping cards to business cards and Christmas cards and holiday cards. No job is too big or too small. Call Rick or Teresa at 219-836-2517. I saw Rick just yesterday being Santa delivering desk calendars around to everybody.
Nice.
He's out and
You
about.
know, if you haven't sent your Christmas cards by now, you probably should just wait until next year. It's
Come
a little
on,
late.
there's some
You
time.
should talk to Marissa about that.
Yeah, I was going to say our Shutterfly order isn't in yet, so we're
Really?
waiting.
Yeah, we're scrambling too.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, towards the second half of the show, I have a really cool segment that I want to introduce to you guys, and I need audience participation. So I need Lindsey and John to help dredge answers from the comment section of Facebook Live, which basically it's a bit that I put together, automatic disqualifiers in running for public office.
Or
Okay,
what
like if
should
you-
or
running
what
or winning?
is.
Like if you've had things in your past and then you want to run for office, like if you murdered somebody, could you be allowed to run for office?
Are we
That's
talking
no,
like-
because it's a felony. But
Well,
maybe
is it
you were cleared. Maybe
Murdered
like
and got caught.
maybe the state botched the case and you walked on it, right? So even though you were found not guilty in that case, should you be allowed to run for office? So I have a few different scenarios, actually scenarios that I've experienced myself.
All right.
And then scenarios that we may be experiencing shortly here in Northwest Indiana. And I want to gauge the audience's reaction. Like, you know, if you filed for bankruptcy and stuff like that,
Don't
should
give
you
it
be,
away the bit.
No, but that's the kind of stuff we're going to be talking about. Like if
All
you
right.
file for bankruptcy, should you be allowed to run for office and things like that? But we do want to cover that, and I need audience help. So please hang out and comment into the Facebook
Give
Live
us ideas.
so that we could, and give us some ideas so that we could basically add to the show. Latitude Commercial is a full-service commercial real estate brokerage and property management firm specializing in northern Indiana and the Chicago suburbs. Local tenants to national developers have benefited from Latitude's experience in the commercial real estate market. When you select Latitude Commercial, you get Chicagoland expertise with worldwide marketing and networking ability. Whether you are a developer looking to sell, a tenant looking to expand, an investor looking to purchase, or an owner in need of property management services, Latitude can help. Contact Latitude at 219-864-0200 or at latitudeco.com so they can get to work for you.
True Barbecue in Munster and Crown Point. You don't have to go to Chicago to find good food and a fine dining experience. True Barbecue in Munster has all of that and more. Stop by and take a look at their menu full of barbecue favorites with some new twists on old classics. Choose a drink from our extensive list of whiskey-based cocktails or stick with one of your favorites. Located at 8940 Calumet Avenue in Munster, come visit and enjoy True Barbecue.
We enjoyed it last night.
Yeah, you had a little bit of a bartender miscommunication.
Communication breakdown.
What, they didn't have vodka again?
No. You know what it is, John? When you order vodka, like I like vodka because you have the big ice cube. They serve it in whiskey bars, right?
Yes.
Because like when Kevin's drinking, when Kevy's
thank
drinking
you.
his
Such
whiskey,
good buddies.
It's adorable.
when Kevy's drinking his whiskey, but like
He calls me
you
pre-show.
you don't want the ice to melt into whiskey, so they get the big ice cube for whiskey,
Just
right?
the one ice cube. Which
I
doesn't
drink
change
vodka. I like the ice to melt
You want
into the vodka.
water, dude.
Absolutely.
That's right. So like I get the huge non-meltable ice cube in my vodka.
And the limes. And by the way, it started as a joke, but now he's into the muddled lime.
I just like to say it.
Right. It sounds fun. Like
It sounds
please
borderline.
muddle that lime.
It's like borderline sexual harassment.
Just
I'm like,
love muddled
where's your
lime.
muddler?
I want you to muddle that lime. Like muddle it like crazy.
He gets like 3 big
I say it
regular
really
pieces of lime.
I say it really creepy too.
Just do
So
it yourself with the straw.
Muddle that lime.
no
for
wonder
me.
they run away from the table.
I want you to take that lime and muddle the hell out of it, right?
I want
So
a
what I'm
fully
gathering
muddled
from
lime.
this conversation is that
Muddle
Dad
it
is
with both
just
of your hands.
John's
too
sweating.
It's getting me
bougie.
all hot and bothered.
I noticed you're sweating. Your
Lindsey's
brow-
moving away from you. I noticed that.
John's brow is wet.
Jesus
I don't care who
Christ.
says muddle. It turns me on.
That's
It
what I'm
could be
saying,
Tom.
John.
It could be anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's the title. I don't care who says muddled. It turns me on.
It's hot. Muddle is hot. Like I learned that word and I use it as often as
Yikes.
possible.
See, how's your dad?
Yeah.
How's this conversation sitting with you?
If you buy ad space on our podcast, you contribute to the Get Lindsey therapy.
That's right. That's right.
It's amazing. We're talking about muddling lime and the viewership's going up.
I know.
yeah, well,
It's
who
'cause they
doesn't
know
like
what's
a
hot.
muddled lime?
They know what's hot.
Ew.
Hey, what do you think of Hogshead for governor? That's from Rick Long, who's a councilman
no
in Lake
way.
Station.
Did he say that?
He said that. What did you say? No way, Hogshead for governor?
No, I said no. I didn't.
Yeah, Rick
I
Long.
didn't think
Like
about
it
that.
sounded really bad. I said, "What do you think? What do you think of
No
Hogshead for
way.
governor?" And Kevin's like, "No way." I'm like, Jesus.
I kind
thought-
of meant like I hadn't thought of that.
Are you serious? You
Well,
didn't think of that?
I don't know. I mean, he's doing such a good job.
I thought
down
of
there.
it. I thought
By the
of it.
way,
By
how
the way,
cool was that?
He did
having
say he
Mayor
was going to
Joe
run
on?
for mayor again on our show.
See, so I
He
guess
said
it's-
because the NBA
Confirmed.
All-Star game is going to be in Indianapolis, he has to run for mayor again so that he could host it as mayor.
there you go.
So like,
He
but
could host
Rick
it as
Long,
governor too. By
I
the
tell
way.
you what, Rick Long, great councilman who's, him and I got elected at the same time. He knows his stuff when he's talking politics. Rick, there's definitely a possibility Joe Hogshead's looking to move up. I definitely think that. He definitely has the background and the qualifications to do it. And quite frankly, we need to make sure that as Democrats, we're putting up Democrats that could get elected statewide, and Mayor Joe's politics are good enough to get elected.
He's been elected statewide.
He's moderate. He's reasonable. He's not extremist, and I think Mayor Joe's the kind of Democrat that could get elected.
Former U.S. Attorney,
right?
Former Secretary of State.
He could get elected statewide, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
and how? By the way, thanks again to Mayor Joe. That was really awesome.
It was a great
to have
show.
you on our show. It made us feel like we were actually important for a day.
For a day,
You know what
I'm
else
back to normal.
Mayor Hogsett said on the show? And we're going to clip this and hold him to it, actually.
Good.
He is going to do everything he can as mayor of Indy to get the Prime Minister of Belgium.
Yeah, he did say that.
He said he was going to use all of his power.
Yeah.
That's
all
very
of his
kind
power.
of him.
So that's coming. That's a future guest, guys. Look forward to that one.
Are we still the top-rated
Make sure
podcast
you,
in Belgium?
We
We
are.
are
Our
the
numbers are
top-rated.
still growing. We're at
We are.
36 now in
We're
Belgium.
huge in
Five
Belgium.
more.
36 people in Belgium are listening to us
We are huge in Belgium.
actively.
I know.
But UK and Australia is growing. UK 13, Australia 5.
We are big in the
We
UK.
were at 11.
We're big in the European Union.
We were at 16 in the UK. We're losing.
I mean, we're not big in the Northwest Indiana region, but we're huge in Belgium. We're big in the UK.
because
you know?
people can't understand us.
Was
like
that
France,
in
yeah, in
Argentina?
They
Very
love us in
confusing.
France because they don't understand a damn word we say.
What's that in South?
Argentina won.
We have
Oh.
one person in Argentina.
By the way, Lindsey, I owe you an apology. You were right about Belgium, Dutch,
Dutch.
primary language.
I know.
You're right.
I
I
know.
apologize.
I did my Googling before.
Hey,
the
let me
show.
ask you guys a question. We could sit here and reminisce about the past, so we can move forward.
I like reminiscing.
Yeah.
What was your first record you ever bought, Kevin Smith? Because Lindsay probably never bought a record.
I have like
All right,
50
so-
records.
Okay, what was your first
Wait,
record you bought?
vinyl or CD?
Like
or
vinyl?
Vinyl record. What was the
My
first one?
vinyl record was "Hail to the Thief" Radiohead.
No,
Really?
pretty-
That's a good one, Lindsay.
I know it's
impressive.
my favorite one.
Good job.
That's my favorite Radiohead
John, what was your
album.
first vinyl record you bought? And Lindsay, when did you buy that?
I bought that when I first got my record player. I got a couple as gifts, and then I went to the store and I bought like.
This is a long ass story, man.
Yeah.
It's just a simple question.
Jesus Christ!
I'm like, when did you buy it? Well, let me tell you. I was
thought
walking down the
supposed
street.
to
and
ask you.
John,
not
you're never
you.
going to get to tell your story. We're going to
Okay,
go to commercial
I got
again.
one for a gift,
I
and
was
then I
thinking,
went
like-
and bought a record.
I was
and
thinking
it was like
you'd say like 2008. Oh,
2015.
okay. Thanks, Lindsay.
Oh my god!
She's like,
is
it
like-
was summer.
Mrs. Carrasco is so long-winded.
I
was gonna
think
say, this
Dad.
is like
I think
the
Dad's a
explanation
little
of what's my last
sassy.
name.
He doesn't like that I'm not a McDermott.
Oh,
on
I don't think
Facebook
that's
anymore.
correct. I
think
think
he's
that's,
just.
She got
sassy
long-winded
today.
ever since she became with Carrasco. John.
You were never like,
I
this is
got
a
it from
McDermott.
Brian.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I think it was an Oasis single.
Really?
She is love.
Single.
Yep.
Just
That's
like
good.
the EP?
Yeah.
Not an
like
LP.
No, it was a single.
I like it,
Single.
John. That's a good one. Oasis.
Mhm.
Okay, so we have Radiohead and Oasis. When was
So-
that? Like 2005?
That was probably 2005. Wow, holy shit! I was
Dude,
gonna say 2005.
He's good with years.
I told
What
you, man.
is going
I'm
on?
sort of psychic, too. I didn't know
It's
if you
kind
guys
of crazy
knew that.
like, I mean, for
Runs in
us.
the family.
For
I
old-
know, by the way, I knew when Oasis was big. That's why I guess 2005.
But you're still good with years.
They
I'm
were
really
like
good with
big
with
in
music.
96.
Hey,
98.
Rick Long said his was Black Sabbath's Paranoid.
Nice.
That's my boy
that's
right
that's
there.
a classic.
I had that album.
That's a good one.
However, my first would have been Kiss Destroyer.
Oh, nice.
Like
So
1975.
I guess that leads me into my story. I won't take too long.
Good God, here we go again.
This is-
You
when
notice
you
how
say
like
it-
quick let me tell you a little story. Kevin, you're not billing
I
right
have to
now.
right. I have to.
Come on,
I have to
Kevy.
qualify a little bit because, you know, like, and I think probably only Tom in this room will understand this, and it's probably some of our listeners that are old like us. But do you remember how you could send a penny in
Oh,
to
yeah.
Columbia Records?
Columbia Records.
Yes.
And you'd get like
Did you guys
11
ever have that?
albums back.
Yes.
Did you guys ever
So-
have that, Lindsay? You don't even know what we're talking
I
about,
come
right?
from the generation where we had Now That's What I Call Music 1 through 58 or whatever.
Wow.
No.
No, so you could.
We would
you
send in a
still-
penny,
right?
and they would send you like 15 albums back in the day.
So
Penny?
I would
I
say like
Were
Penny.
they just like giving them away,
That-
basically?
Basically,
Well, then
yeah.
you get. Well, then there's
There's
beyond
a
that.
catch.
Just get random
there's
ones?
there's a catch.
There's a
so
catch.
I think that's how I got Kiss Love Gun and Kiss Alive. So
You
for
picked them.
sure,
You
yeah,
picked
picked
them.
them out of the 11, right?
But the problem is, if you don't, they send you a card, and if you don't send the card back
Every
in,
month.
Lindsay, you end
Every
up with
month.
like Dionne Warwick, best of. And it cost you like $25 for Dionne Warwick.
At
and you
age
have
like
to buy it.
11. So this is like 1979 probably.
So you had to be like mature enough to get this postcard and to turn around and send it back because no, I don't want Dionne Warwick's greatest hits, right?
It was my first introduction to a collection agency.
Right.
So,
Kevin got sued.
but I guess
That's why Kevin can't own a house,
Kevin's
actually.
A lawyer.
That's right. That's why I still can't own my own home.
That's
It's
why you're
all right.
living here.
That's right.
You own
Columbia Records versus Kevin Smith.
My
a
first
minor.
album, though, that I bought was at Woodmar Records in Woodmar Mall. Tattoo You, Rolling Stone.
By the way, was that the longest goddamn answer in the history of answers?
But
Like I asked a simple
So
question. It
have
took
I
him like
been-
20 minutes to
I've
like
been
answer.
relinquished of the title of
Yeah,
most
Lindsay.
long-winded.
Yeah, Perosco's long-winded, but Kevin Smith,
I
wow,
thought-
takes the
Jesus
freaking
Christ.
cake.
I thought the Columbia Records story was good.
It
though,
was a good story
because
I
it
did
reminded
like.
me of the old days.
John,
Remember
did
we
you
like to
ever
reminisce?
John, did you like Did you do Columbia Records?
Yeah, I did not do it. I have heard of it.
Yeah?
I've
What about
heard of it.
CD?
He's not
Oh,
that
good.
old,
I'm
Dad.
not that old.
My
I feel
first
old.
CD. Okay, let's go. Next round. My
not that
first
old.
CD. It was a big deal to buy a CD. I was in the
Yeah.
Navy. I remember where I was laying. I was in an open barracks. So like this is before I went into
What does
the
that
submarine.
mean? I thought is
I
that
lived with
hot
like
rack?
other dudes. No,
Oh,
in
pre-submarine.
one room. This is pre-submarine. I bought, and it was a big deal. CDs were just coming out at the time, so I'm going to say it's like 88, 89. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, which is a
Well,
damn
that's
good first CD.
That is
Damn good first CD.
You could fall into a bad purchase as your first record or CD. You did pretty good.
First
Dark
CD
Side
has
of
to
the
be
Moon.
like, because it's got to be like, I'm thinking at the time, CD at the time is supposed to be crystal clear and like perfect for listening.
Oh,
So I'm
man.
like,
Push
what
the
was
button.
yours? What was yours?
Mine was a Pretenders CD, and I bought it at Hegwish Records.
Wow.
Now
That's
is
good.
a
See?
classic.
All right,
place in
Lindsay,
Cal
first
City.
CD.
My first CD I bought myself was Evanescence's Fallen.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2004. I'm sorry, I like goth rock. Goddamn.
John?
I don't know. Like my memory of a first CD is not as profound as my memory of my first vinyl.
Because they've been around for our whole lives,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
That was a big deal for Kevin and I.
Albums.
yeah, because you guys are ancient.
we remember our first
Yeah.
albums too.
Yeah.
They've been around a long time.
We had 8-track tapes when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
8
God,
tracks.
Uh-huh.
Dad, Mom asks, "What's your first 8-track?"
I think mine
I
was
don't
the
think I
Bee
bought.
Gees.
I don't think I bought an 8-track. I listened to 8-tracks because, like, the cars, believe it or not, had 8-tracks, and they were gangster ghetto. Man, it was like you would drive
My
down the
dad
street.
had an
and
8-track in his Lincoln.
It'd be like playing a
Absolutely.
song, and then it would go like, and
Yeah.
like right in the middle of the song, and then it would go into the next part of the song.
Well,
it's like,
and the other thing with 8-tracks is like you couldn't really like rewind and like
No.
like you could with cassettes. You had to like hit it to the next track or like the next.
and the next track doesn't necessarily coincide with the beginning of the song.
Correct.
It'd be like right in the middle of the damn song.
Correct. It was
Right?
ridiculous.
Like Candida, like, and then it goes
End up
into
at like song 8.
Yeah. By the way, that was one of the 8-tracks I listened to as a kid. I don't even remember who sang it. Candida. We can make it together. That's a total
someone
70s
someone
hippy
listening will
dippy.
know
Candida. Let's bring it up, audience. Who is
Candida.
Candida? Well, trust me, I'm a
Candida.
music
You
person.
know, I inherited.
We can
all
make
of-
it together.
I inherited all of Marissa's 8-tracks, U2 8-tracks, and
Oh
Nirvana
yeah,
ones.
she had
She had
8-tracks.
8-tracks for you
no.
too?
Well,
No,
there were
no.
a couple in there.
No,
No way.
no.
Are you
They
sure?
were no way.
Positive.
They were like
Because I had
8-tracks
them.
went out.
I'll bring them in.
Then
when U2 War
Marissa
came
wasn't
out,
even when Marissa was born. 8-tracks were already being phased out. It was going to cassettes.
Without a
Absolutely,
doubt.
absolutely. When I was
So
a kid,
correct us, but-
8-tracks were old
Maybe.
technology. When I was a kid, like. So anyway,
I just remember
What was your first laser disc?
that's a CD, isn't it?
no,
No.
it's like a,
Oh,
you
I
did
like
videos on.
I still have
What
to.
was your first beta?
I have yet to buy my first. By the way, you want to hear an interesting thing about beta in the submarines? Because we would go out to sea and we would bring hundreds of movies with us. Okay, and that took space. So in an effort to save space, the Navy made a decision to go from VHS to what was it? What was
Yeah,
the
VHS to beta.
VHS to beta?
Beta was smaller.
Yeah, and nobody used beta except for the military.
No one used
So
beta.
they would have like some of the best movies, and nobody could steal them because you didn't have a beta player at
No
home.
one took the beta.
Yeah, but we had like that was one of the perks of being in the Navy sub.
Sounds
is,
like a great perk.
Yeah, it was great.
We had beta.
we had beta. No, we had like the latest
videos.
movies. Like we would literally get movies as they'd come out in the theater. That was one of the nice things.
We got to straighten this up here. I think. Are you confusing
I think
8-track
so.
with cassettes? Okay.
I think Lindsay
I'm a
is.
baby.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she is.
I
She
am.
is.
I have all of Marissa's cassette tapes.
There you go.
That's it.
That's
I
how
was
young
thinking
you are.
8-track was.
Good call,
8-track.
John.
8-track was cassette wasn't.
Aren't
you-
they like similar though?
No,
like in
no,
idea?
No.
You
Well,
understand
then
the young
what does
woman's
an
mind.
what does an
Cassette
8-track
wouldn't stop.
look
And
like?
cassette was one tape. 8-track was 8 different tracks. That's
And
why they call it 8-track.
cassette-
That doesn't
like a-
make sense. Like,
this
what is
shape.
it?
I don't know.
Let's pull up a picture.
Yeah, like, could I see a picture of it?
What was your first?
I have a question. What was your first illegally downloaded song off of Napster?
Huh.
Good question.
I know when it was. It was 19.
Here we go. The year Tom's
It was 2000.
like, I know the year.
No, because I remember when I found out about Napster, I went insane.
It was
downloading
unbelievable.
music. I was downloading so much.
Oh my God!
It was almost like you couldn't believe it
before.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was like, I remember I literally went to town and downloaded all my favorite music and I put it on the computer.
Napster was
I
remember
awesome.
I was talking to Tommy about this yesterday about like all the music we got from Napster when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Like we got all the SpongeBob songs.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Those are keepers.
Hey guys, you see the vaccines coming out? I saw a study. I know you guys know about this. The study came out that with the 100% of the American population, this is about the breakdown. 50% of Americans right now are saying they're going to take the vaccine. 25% of Americans are on the fence about taking the vaccine, and 25% are a hard no.
And you need 70 to 80%
for herd immunity, right?
Yes.
So I thought that was interesting. And
let's go get it. People were taking it yesterday.
So let's do it in LoC Pod.
I'm a yes.
Let's go around. I'm a yes. Lindsey?
Hell yeah.
John?
No.
Did we get herd immunity? We're almost there.
We almost have herd immunity. Freaking John. You're like holding us below the 77% required for herd immunity.
You're going to be you could ruin the country.
John, you're going to take us all down.
God damn it.
I don't know. I think 75% is pretty good.
I would hope so, but that's why the mumps came back.
What about you, John? Do you have measles, mumps, and rubella shot? Rubella?
MMR?
I would think so.
I would think your
Why
folks
did you do
made
such
go
a
get
thing?
it.
You didn't want to get measles, mumps, or rubella, right?
Did you become an
Have you ever
I
had
was
measles,
a
mumps, or rubella?
Child, when I would have got those.
You didn't have a choice. You couldn't be an anti-vaxxer as a
I wasn't
5-year-old
thinking like that. Yeah.
The interesting thing
I'm not
is,
an anti-vaxxer.
the thing is,
thank
honestly,
God.
Clear
John,
on that.
like when you and Amy start having kids and your kids want to go to school, it may be required for your kids to get a COVID shot before they attend public school. Who knows what kind of requirements the government may put down? I mean, there may be, requirements that if you work for government, you have to do it. I mean, who knows where this takes us? But I've said that twice.
From Tom.
No, I'm not saying that, John.
Don't show
I'm
up at
not.
work.
I know I said that before on the show and it freaked you out a little bit, but like, I don't know what kind of, because I know for a fact right now, if I want to send my kid to public school in Hammond, they're going to say, does your kid have shots? And I'm going to say, yes, this is the shot record. And they say, okay, they're allowed to come in. What if I said, no, I'm not getting a COVID shot, and I don't want my kid to get the measles, mumps, or rubella shot either, but I do want them to go to school. Do they have the right to say no?
Religious exemptions.
My recollection is you were required to have your immunizations up to date at school, at public school.
Right.
That's my recollection.
That's
even
my
with
recollection,
even with my kids.
I never pushed the
I
issue,
think you had
obviously.
to-
My parents wanted me to stay alive, so they gave me the shots.
Well, some kids,
MMR.
I know some kids when I was teaching have religious exemptions from certain vaccines because like certain religions don't allow them to participate in Western medicine.
That bugs me.
Well,
you know what else bugs
religious
me?
freedom.
You know what else bugs me?
What?
Service dogs on airplanes.
Oh my god.
With service animals.
Or
Yeah.
no, comfort.
Comfort animals.
Therapy animals.
Service dog, I get.
Service is important because that's
But like a
if you're
comfort. This is
blind.
my comfort peacock and stuff like that.
Agreed.
It's got to go.
Comfort or emotional. What
This is my
emotional.
Emotional
support.
Yeah.
Animal.
Poodle. Like no. Get the emotional
It's a
support.
poodle.
Put the poodle in the freaking baggage claim.
You just want to have
Don't
your
be-
dog on board so you don't have to board
My
it
luck,
while
I'm
you're
going to be
gone.
like next to the person with a crazy lab, comfort support lab, and then
Are
the
you
lab's
kidding
gonna
me,
be-
Dad? You love labs.
I do love
you
labs. That was
lose
the
your
wrong-
mind
that
if
was
you
the wrong-
saw
You could sit
one on
next to me.
TV.
I would be
Or
like,
on the-
oh, you're such a good boy.
You're like, this is giving me comfort and support.
So yeah,
I think TJ would be a really good comfort support animal.
right.
Would he be calm?
Lucy would be.
Lucy would be the best. She's such a good girl.
Yeah.
So,
How do we get on comfort and support animals?
well, I just want to backtrack to the
Yeah,
COVID
thank you.
vaccine question for you guys. Serious
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, please. Oh, this is serious.
So there's people who say, I'm worried that it was developed in like a year.
I've heard that.
There are people that say, I have a 99.8% chance of surviving this thing. Why
heard
do I
people-
need a vaccine?
Cal guy says that.
Are they, like, do you guys really think these are crazy thoughts? To me, they seem legit.
The 1 year doesn't bug me a bit
No.
because we've had multiple Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, independently working in independent silos, making a vaccine that's been approved. And I just find it hard to believe that these amazing companies with these amazing scientists would come up with something that's not going to work.
and
I just have a hard time believing that.
And
or
I would-
have these side effects that some people are probably worried about.
I would
There-
say every
everything has side
vaccine,
effects.
every
Everything has side
vaccine
effects.
has a chance of small side effects. I haven't seen anything yet that have said
If
significant,
you get the
serious
polio
side
vaccine,
effects.
you could get polio. Like
So John, just following up on what Tom just said is that I think we're always amazed at technology and science and things that happen. And the reality is I don't think those technology and science companies have been challenged like this to say, can you do this? And they've done it, I think, and they've done it on multiple scales. So I feel like it's. Were you saying, Tom? That how long did it take to do the polio vaccine?
Yeah, 6 years,
like
5
decades
years,
or something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but that was in the 50s or 60s.
No, it was in
correct?
like the 30s or 40s. When was the polio vaccine?
I don't know.
40s.
But like
back when they had
science has
HX.
like
yes, before
science
HX.
has accelerated so
Agreed.
fast, so it makes sense that like in the 40s it took 6 years to develop this
Right.
vaccine,
Yep.
and then
Right.
now in
By the way,
2020
in
it
the
takes
40s,
a year.
we weren't in a measles or a mumps pandemic either. This was a pandemic that there was one thing that we all around the world shared over the last year was a fear of catching COVID and a fear of our loved ones dying. And that's helped to focus not just American companies, worldwide companies on coming up with a vaccine. Now, John, if we were talking about taking Putin's vaccine, I'd say no, I don't believe it. If we were talking about taking China's vaccine, I'd say no, I don't believe it. I believe in the United States of America, and I believe in our companies, and
And I believe in I think I believe in the process. I mean, John, what was your other question? Was a good one though too.
That people have a 99.8% survival rate.
I mean, I
most
think, without going into people that we know, John, I know you know personally somebody that even though they survived, that's what I get.
Right.
I think that's what people have to remember. Surviving COVID is great. Yeah, you have a large chance of surviving, and there are people out there that like to remind us of that. But there's a lot of people out there that are suffering the after effects. If you watch the long haulers on 60 Minutes,
Yeah.
John, I know you have personal experience with somebody who survived COVID, but his life has changed significantly because of it. So there are significant challenges to people that have survived.
How about that
COVID.
basketball player for University of Florida?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean
he collapsed, right?
Collapsed.
but it's COVID related though. He had COVID earlier in the summer, and they're saying it's like his heart muscles were weakened because of the COVID, and that's what caused the whole thing. That's crazy. It's scary,
So I'm all for preventative of that stuff. Yeah, you're right, John. Huge survival rate, but there's significant people out there that have had issues.
Like, look at Giuliani. Look how screwed up he is, and he beat that thing in like a day.
Well, he got the
Dripping hairline and everything.
But he got true, flatulent. I think the thing with him though is he probably got that the same drug that they gave to the president right away, and that's not widely available. I mean, it's great that they're getting it and they're in that position where they can get it, but I bet there's a lot of guys that are Giuliani's age that are in a morgue.
Hey guys, why don't we move forward, do a couple more commercials, and then I want to get to the bit in the second half of the show, and we're going to need audience participation. Okay, audience,
be ready.
Yeah, I need your help because I'm asking your opinion. I have feelings about whether or not certain things happen. You should be automatically disqualified from running for office, and we want the audience's participation. So that maybe John, you could do polls.
Yes.
But okay. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to jump into the first commercial. Midwest Air Duct Cleaning, and Kevin will do Ron Prestimer, and then we're going to jump into automatic disqualifiers in running for office, and this is audience participation required. So I need your help. Midwest Air Duct Cleaning, as Mayor Tom likes to say, do you really know what's in your air ducts?
Oh wait, did you get them done?
Yeah, I got them done.
And did you find out what was in your air ducts?
I didn't see what was in my air ducts. I know they were dirty as hell.
That's awesome. I've got to call Marinko.
It seems a lot harder.
Chances are a dead squirrel.
Or a raccoon.
By the way, there
Or
was
a
a ball.
raccoon.
There was a ball in a ball like.
How does that get in an air duct?
I don't know.
like
That's
a
good question.
dog toy.
Yeah, like a dog toy. But it must have. You know how sometimes the little, what do they call those? The registers come off.
Register.
And maybe it came off, and then the ball rolled into the thing, and then they put the register back on.
All
right,
or maybe Lucy's just
Freaking,
hiding
that's
her
TJ.
balls from
That's TJ all day.
I love that.
As Mayor Tom likes to say, do you really know what's in your air ducts? Are your allergies going crazy already this winter? Is the heat at your house not as effective as it was last year? I don't know. An air duct cleaning may be the answer to all of your problems. Is your marriage on the rocks?
Wow.
Get your air ducts cleaned.
Marinko will fix your marriage.
Do you have drug abuse problems? Have you
Marinko
thought
will
about air
get
duct
you
cleaning?
to addiction services.
Have you thought about air
questions
ducts?
about whether to take the vaccine?
Yeah.
Get your air ducts cleaned.
Marinko
right.
will give you the vaccine.
An air duct cleaning basically is the answer to all of your problems. For quality and affordable air duct cleaning, contact Marinko at 219-671-8868. That's 219-671-8868. Or at MidwestAirDuctCleaning.com for an estimate. Mention Left of Center for a 10% discount. They also have discounts for seniors, first responders, and for veterans.
Get your air ducts cleaned. It's a great holiday gift.
Yep.
Did anyone else grow up? My parents would put cans full of water in their registers.
Really?
Is that you guys
like
have never,
that's like almost like a
automatic
humidifier?
Yeah.
Kevin, you got one left.
I do. Yeah,
okay.
that's interesting.
No one's ever
really. I never heard of that
foreign
before.
to you guys?
Yeah, it's foreign.
What, humidifiers?
I'm just that working class. They had to put cans of water.
We have radiators that have
That
like you
sounds
pour
like a
water
good
on
idea to
top
me.
of them. Like they have like a receptacle.
So what? It just like evaporates the water and it makes it not dry.
While the air is blowing out. Yeah.
In the winter, it's basically drier than a desert in your houses because there's no humidity anywhere,
Right.
and then your nose gets all.
I don't know.
messed
Try
up.
John's.
So, you know what? I'm gonna do that.
Get your cans.
Try that out.
The
Get your
old
things
Eastern
of water.
European
Yeah.
trick.
Thank you to the Vesmars.
That's why we're
for
huge
that.
in
Thanks,
Belgium.
Vesmars.
It's because we come up with great ideas like this.
The Ron Prestimer Insurance Agency has been serving your insurance needs for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including business insurance, property insurance, and much more. The Prestimer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses all around Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron at 219-844-0103 for a free quote and to discuss how to protect you and your business. That's the Ron Prestimer Insurance Agency.
All right. Thanks for Ron. Thanks for Marinko. Thanks for True Barbecue for sponsoring our show. Thanks to Latitude Commercial and to Misprint Printing. We appreciate your support of Left of Center. And so does all of our fans.
If you want to purchase ad space, I promise it's not that expensive.
How do they get a hold of you?
It's embarrassingly cheap, actually.
Send us an email or I will find you.
What email?
Email is leftofcenterpod@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. This is what I've been waiting for. I need your guys' help on this, okay? The three of you. I'm going to read off scenarios that you're running for office, and I need your guys' honest opinions. And please mind the comment section of Facebook.
Do
so
we
that
think
we can...
it should
no,
exempt them?
No,
or
no,
like,
that's your
legally
personal
does it?
opinion. No, this is your personal
opinion, not legal.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to start off the easy one, okay? Let's say I was in the military and I had a dishonorable discharge from the military, meaning maybe I didn't show up to work or maybe I just didn't follow orders, right?
And you're not saying this personally.
No, I'm not. This is a hypothetical, okay? So I'm in the military and then I get a dishonorable discharge and then I get out of the military and I totally turn myself around. I go to school, I get my degree, I join the local public service and I do a lot of great things for the community and I've totally turned around my life. But I have this black mark on my record that when I was in the military, I had a dishonorable discharge. Now I want to run for mayor.
Well, would it matter what you had a dishonorable discharge for? You can get it for a lot of things, right?
I guess that's true. I mean, that's your opinion, right? What do you think?
I'd want to know what it was for.
What if it was for, I was just being
I was AWOL.
I joined the Navy when I was 18, and I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. And then once I got there, I realized this is not what I want to do.
And
right?
you ran away.
And I just took off. Right.
I think for some military people, that would not be good. But I could forgive you for that.
Okay, so if the person was totally turned their life around, you would overlook, and this is just your opinion. You could overlook a dishonorable discharge and vote, right?
Depending on the circumstances, if it was for something doing something criminal,
right. You're a traitor or something. That's right. What about you, Linz?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of kids being a teacher going into the military, and I know that it shapes up a lot of people in the military, but it doesn't shape up everybody. So.
Shaped up your dad.
If you're not honorably discharged from the military and then you are able to shape up later in life through some other means, I think. But yeah, it's up to the circumstances. Like if you
would
murdered
vote for the person?
somebody,
right? Okay, so let's just say it was.
Well, if they just didn't show up, they weren't mature
enough. I just
enough.
went AWOL, right?
Yeah, if they weren't mature enough to handle the content.
Yeah, they're 18. You're like, I'm not giving 6 years of my life to this.
Yeah, I could understand that for sure.
Okay,
but
so you could overlook that.
If they were dishonorably discharged for sexual assault or something, no.
Okay. Wait, so let me ask you a military question though. Is court-martial different than dishonorable? Like if I get
court-martial is more like
and
criminal.
You're indicted,
it's like a crime.
Right.
So, you know what? Kelly Mickey had a really good point that some people were dishonorably discharged for being gay.
Hey, listen, we're going to get to that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly Mickey.
Thanks. We're going to get to that in a second. John, and that was not a dishonorable. We're going to get to that. John.
I could probably get past most things.
Really? So you could get, I'm surprised about that. I'll be honest with you. All right. Do you get any quick poll results back yet on that one?
60% say it should not disqualify you from running.
That's interesting.
There you go.
Okay. How about I got a different scenario. Okay. Let's reset.
Are we still in the military?
Yeah. This is sort of the same kind of scenario. Okay. Let's say I joined the Navy back in the 80s, right? And the Navy has a policy at that time that you cannot be gay and be in the military. Okay. And then I'm gay in the military and I just don't tell anybody, right? I'm hiding.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask, don't tell was the motto of the
90s.
military when I was in, right?
Clinton, yeah.
And then
it was when you were there?
Absolutely.
Right.
In fact, I had friends that got out under the don't ask, don't tell because they told. And I don't know if they were gay or not. I just know that they said that they were, and then they weren't no longer in the Navy. So let's say I go in the Navy and I go out to my captain and I say, Captain, I'm gay. And the captain says, you're not supposed to tell me that. And I said, well, I did. I'm gay. And then the captain says, okay, I'm going to have to process you, Petty Officer McDermott. You're not going to be allowed to be in the military anymore. You cannot be homosexual and be in the military. This is in 1988. And then they give me an administrative discharge.
So it's not like a dishonorable.
No, it's administrative. It's not honorable, though, right? So I get out of the military, and I turn my life around. I go to college. I do all these great things, and then I'm running for mayor. And then my opponent says, this guy has an administrative discharge. He did not get an honorable discharge. Do you vote against that person or not, Kevin?
That's easy. I mean, I don't think that person did anything wrong. I mean, they were gay and they're gay and they decided to tell their
It was against the law at the time, though.
Not against the law. It was against
military
regulation,
law, which is the law.
Fine.
Military.
Yeah, I guess if you're in the military, sure. But
right.
I'm an absolute. That's an easy one. That's
they were victims of.
So you say you would vote for him?
They're a victim. Yes, absolutely.
You're a victim of bad timing.
Absolutely.
Not just
Lindsey?
bad timing.
Now,
they're a victim of like really bad policy
and discrimination.
Right.
And discrimination.
But that was the policy back then.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I would
So you would definitely
100% vote for them.
Okay,
yeah.
John.
I don't know.
I mean, if they were a good politician.
I don't know how to
like,
create that poll. That's a long poll.
If
question.
you're gay, can you run for office?
But yes, I would vote for them still. Yeah.
Okay, I got a better one.
I think they should be allowed to run.
Okay, I got this.
Easy.
Okay, ready? I am. Okay, this is another hypothetical. Mm-hmm. Let's say that when I was younger, I had a really bad credit, and I ran up a bunch of bills, and I went crazy on my credit card bills, right? Mm-hmm. And then I had to file for personal bankruptcy. And because I had like $100,000 in credit card bill, this is a hypothetical, by the way. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say I had like $100,000 in credit card bill.
The fact that you're talking in first person is going to really confuse.
Well, no,
people.
because that's why I want to make it clear. Because people will cut this and make it out like it's true, and it's not.
They will.
So let's imagine that I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card bills, and I just deadbeat it on all that stuff, right? And then after getting my bankruptcy, I learned my lesson, completely changed my life. And then I started going to college, and then I started running for mayor, and I want to be mayor. And people pull up my credit history, and they say, wait a second, this guy's running for mayor, and he had a bankruptcy and discharged hundreds of thousands of dollars in bad debts back in the 90s. Do you vote for that person, Kevin Smith?
So, okay, I guess short. I'll try to be as short as possible. People go bankrupt for many reasons, like medical bills, for example. I'd have to probably know what happened.
Good point.
What was your situation?
Mine was mostly credit card. This is my hypothetical.
If you're being irresponsible and you're asking me to vote for you, if you're being irresponsible financially and you're asking me to vote for you for a position that I think would require some financial acumen.
Mayor.
Sure, mayor, auditor,
president.
President, for example. He only had 40 of them, I think, right?
Governor.
So I would say it's circumstantial, but I would be a little bit nervous about voting for someone that had a bankruptcy if it was not medical bill related.
I like how you said that. So if it was medical related, you would forgive him because that is unfortunately all too common, right?
That's how the world works.
Okay.
But if it's bad personal decision making,
right?
I don't think that disqualifies you from running, but I don't know if they'd have my vote.
Lindsey, what do you think?
Well, I would probably be along the same lines.
So the candidate would have to.
It should not keep you from running for office. I don't think I would vote for them if they were running for an office and they need to have that acumen, understanding of finances. But it shouldn't bar you from being able to run.
So as a candidate, I would have to come out and justify why I filed BK. Maybe it was a horrible accident that we had hundreds of thousands of medical bills. That would make a difference for you guys.
Yeah, well, that's just how the United States works. But if it's like student loans, that would be a good talking point for talking about.
You can't
discharge.
You can't discharge student loans.
You can't.
No. Sorry, Lindsey.
Bankruptcy because of student loans.
You cannot.
Federal law says.
I don't declare.
John,
I would still vote for a candidate if they filed for bankruptcy.
No matter what. I mean, you'd vote for them?
Potentially, I could, yeah.
You'd consider them.
What if I was running for Lake County Auditor? Kevin brought up a good hypo. So, I have a bankruptcy, and I'm running for Lake County Auditor, which is an extremely financial position, obviously. Do you vote for him? Is it the same circumstance? Is it medical related? Is it wasteful?
I think you can run. I don't think you'd have my vote for that. I mean, I'd want to know why they filed bankruptcy and have them explain it. It'd be something I need to weigh.
Lindsey, does that matter if I'm running for a financial position, treasurer, auditor, something like that?
As long as it's explained. And
would you vote for the person?
It depends on the circumstances. If it is like medical bills or something along those lines, it's different. If it's credit card, I would want to know why. Like, did you rack up your credit card bill because of reckless spending, or is it because you were trying to pay off something? Or
I mean, there are people that are like serial bankruptcy
or
filers.
did you? Yeah. What if you like lost your job and you had to use your credit card for a couple months while you found another job, and then like there are circumstances that are understandable why some people declare bankruptcy.
John?
Yes, I could vote for someone running for a financial position.
How did our poll end up?
If you filed for bankruptcy, should you be allowed to run for office? 77% say yes.
Right. Okay, how about this one? Let's say I'm a deadbeat on my property taxes. Okay, I haven't paid property taxes in years, and I'm racking up like delinquent property taxes, and I'm getting notices from the county that I'm a deadbeat. I have multiple properties I don't pay my taxes on, and I'm running for mayor. How do you think about that one?
I got a little bit of a problem with that. I'd probably feel the same way if you're running for assessor or auditor or recorder or any of those positions, treasurer, because I think you're making a decision that you're going to pay other bills instead of the bills that help our government work. And so I would have a problem with that. I would say you wouldn't have my vote.
Lindsey?
I don't think it should keep you from running for office, but I probably wouldn't vote for them.
Okay. John?
They got to pay their...
You're just not paying your property taxes?
I'm a deadbeat. I got
He's
multiple
a sovereign
properties.
Citizen.
And I'm just like, screw the county.
Like, who does
I'm like an anti-vaxxer with property taxes.
I guess you could run, but in that came out, I don't know. I don't think I know.
Right?
Good. What's it?
Because it's so involved with government. I think that's where you're kind of like you're asking for this government position, and you're basically telling the government,
yeah, you're not even funding the government that you're going to run.
I'm not paying my property taxes.
Is there no
that's for
recourse
chumps.
from the government?
Well, I mean, your property goes up on tax sale,
right?
Right.
But then some properties don't get sold on tax sale,
right?
So they just keep going and going and going, and you
gamble.
build up. Yeah, they're just gambling.
Okay, I got a good one. What's the poll say on that one? There,
the poll is 90% say no. You should not be allowed to run.
So you shouldn't be allowed to run,
right? People feel strongly about their property taxes, man.
Apparently.
Well, because everybody, it's like we all have to do it. So.
Okay, how about this? I got one. You ready? This is a good one.
Okay. Indiana.
Let's say I am mayor and I get an OWI and I blow like a 0.15.
Whoa.
That's a good number, okay?
Jesus
Double
Christ.
the legal limit.
Double the legal limit. I get pulled over.
You must have been at Lindsey's wedding.
I blow a 0.15 and I throw up on the officer's shoes when they're giving me an OW. I'm just kidding about the throw up part. Let's just say I blow a 0.15. It's my first offense ever. My first criminal offense ever. Do you demand that person resign from office?
No. I can forgive you.
They're already in office.
They're already in office.
Well, that's not running
This is for my info, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds like this is a personal experience from last Saturday.
No, it's not.
Well, this has happened a couple times.
So Kevin, do you demand? Okay,
No.
Okay. How about this? So if they're in office, you don't demand they resign. How about this? Do you vote for them knowing that they have a 0.15 on their record one time?
I would say if they've resolved the criminal case and they've done their probation and gone to alcohol classes, I forgive them. I mean, I would say that everybody can make a mistake, and that's one of those that as long as no one was hurt. Not that I'm not trying to say go out and get an OWI, but I think I could forgive them for that.
Lindsey.
Well, I mean, I guess it really depends. Like, if nobody was injured, then I could probably
nobody was
forgive
injured.
it. But like, what if they killed somebody? Yeah,
100%. But nobody was injured in this hypo. It was
like,
a 0.15 straight.
They went into
DWI.
a pole or something, or
no wreck.
They just got pulled over.
They got pulled over. No wreck. 0.15.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be disappointed. I would.
Right. Would you demand that?
I wouldn't demand that they resign, but I would reconsider voting for them in the next election.
Okay,
sure.
I like that.
That's
John.
fair.
John, what do you think?
I don't think I could forgive them. I don't think they should resign.
You don't think you could forgive them?
I know I could. I could. And I think they should be allowed to run again.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm going to change the hypo. I have a feeling it's going to change your opinion. What if you have 2 OWIs? Kevin Smith.
I think that's
a habitual
wait.
offender.
Here's the first poll result.
Okay.
If you're in office and get an OWI, should you resign? 80% say no.
Okay.
Because
Let me change the question
Northwest Indiana is the land of the OWI.
No, it's not. No, it's just because mistakes happen. I think that's what people are saying. Like, if one time, I think, unfortunately, a lot of people could say you've driven home one time or a couple times where you probably shouldn't have. Okay?
Irresponsibly.
And I think people realize that almost everybody has at least had that experience one time, and they're like, man, if I got pulled over, I'd have been in trouble last night, right? I think that's where people are coming from. However, my next hypothetical changes that. And now this person has 2 OWIs and they want to run for office. Kevin Smith. 0.15 both times, too.
I would say probably I'm a no on voting for them, assuming that these OWIs were close in proximity. I think
they were a year apart.
Okay, I think I have a problem with that. I mean, you're putting others in harm's way, and you're basically saying, you know what? I don't care about other people. I don't care about the law. I know I made a mistake once. I'm going to go try it again, do it again. You've lost my confidence.
Lindsey?
That's a habitual offender, and I would probably ask that they resign. And
if they were in office, you'd want them to resign?
Well,
go get
I
some
would
help.
ask for them to resign, get help, but I don't think I believe in the land of the free. You should be able to run for office if you want to. I just wouldn't vote for them.
Okay. John?
I think it's time to work on yourself and just let go of the reins for a little bit.
Go find another job.
John, I think that's well put. Well put.
Okay.
Yep.
Last hypo. What if you...
Last
okay.
one.
Here's the poll result, by the way.
Okay,
Sorry.
what's that? On the second OW?
Yeah, if you get OWI twice, should you resign? 80% yes. So it totally flipped.
Wow.
Yeah, see, people... And then we'll summarize all these
Well,
when
I
we
think
get
that's
to the
interesting,
end.
right? People will forgive you.
They'll give you the first one.
Right.
Because mistakes happen, but the second one, it's not a mistake anymore.
Because
It's a pattern.
you're not being...
Everyone makes
Okay, I got
acceptance
one.
of your
I got one.
forgiveness.
Okay, this is the last one we're going to talk about.
All right,
then we'll
ready?
summarize,
Ooh,
okay?
make it good.
All right.
Let's say this. Let's say I have a situation with my spouse.
Are you in office?
Uh-oh.
No.
No.
I'm
All
a
Are we
candidate.
talking about a DV situation here?
I'm in a situation with my spouse where her and I have a disagreement and it turns physical, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the cops are called to the situation and they cite me with a felony charge of domestic battery, okay?
Whoa.
And then they arrest me and then I get a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like the case languishes because the felony charge that was filed against me was never resolved because my wife, in this case, my spouse in this case, because this is a hypothetical, refuses to testify against me, which I've done a lot of these cases, which happens a lot because domestic violence situations, a lot of times it starts off real heated and then in time the husband gets to the wife and says, honey, I love you.
Circle of violence.
It was just a bad night. I'll never do it again. I love you, baby. Please forgive me. And then the wife says, you know what? I can't charge my husband with the felony.
I don't want to break up our family.
Right.
I want to be... Right.
So like I'm running for office now and I have this felony charge on my record and people say, you had a felony domestic battery charge? I said, no, that was just a misunderstanding. The charges were dropped, right? Should I be allowed to run for office? Kevin Smith.
I have a problem with that, I think, just because it's violence, okay? It's a violence against a partner, whether that be...
Because how do you get like
spouse.
if I got charged with a felony, Kevin? How does that happen? Like because I've seen a lot of misdemeanor domestic violence.
Yeah,
cases,
absolutely.
Right?
So I think I have to look at the statute, but I'm pretty sure that what that means. You can do it a couple ways. One, you're a repeat offender. I think it becomes a felony. Two, you do it in the presence of kids. I think that
minors,
does it.
under
and
14.
And three would be, and there's probably other reasons for this, but I think another reason is you can get a felony is that there's more than just there's significant or moderate or something like that, moderate or severe injury. So that like there's a mark on their face,
maybe a black eye,
or there's
bruises,
there's blood, or a scratch, or something that
evidence that there was a fight, like a struggle,
right. It's not just like the cops show up and they're
Kevin,
like,
you've seen a lot of these types of cases in the years. Usually, like the cases I did, and as a public defender that resolved around domestic violence was usually a misdemeanor.
Yep.
I forgot. Was it domestic battery or just
yes, domestic battery.
A misdemeanor.
As a misdemeanor.
So if I was charged in this case with a felony, it shows that there was something more serious that took place. That's why the cops charged me with the felony.
Yeah.
Right?
So remember, the police take the report and then the prosecutor decides the charges. So the police would recommend, or they'd say, hey, we got these photos, we've got this testimony, the kids were right there.
Right.
We think it's a felony. The prosecutor would say, you're right. Here's the probable cause affidavit. It's a felony.
So now I'm running for office down the road, and when this is brought up, I say those charges, that was BS. Those charges were dropped. You know, I was never convicted. I shouldn't be, you know.
You got some explaining to do, and I think anybody that would support you has some explaining to do, because at the end of the day, that should be taken extremely seriously in our society, and I think as a society we do try to take it seriously, and it should potentially disqualify you, I think, from putting your name out there. I mean, I guess you could try and run. No one can stop you. Like you said, it's the land of the free.
Yeah,
Nobody can stop you from running,
vote,
but that person's not getting my vote.
Lindsey?
It's not going to stop you from running for office because that's your right, but I wouldn't vote for them. No.
That's enough for you. Just the fact that they were charged with the felony, it's enough. Even though they were never found guilty. They were charged with the felony, but
it
not
was
found
dismissed.
guilty.
Yeah, I mean, if it was dismissed,
dismissed because of
It's a delicate situation because there are scenarios where women are scared to press charges against their spouses because of a variety of reasons. And they're the ones who are the victim in that situation. And
I mean, if it was all fabricated and it was made up, that's another thing. But if there's enough evidence there and it shows that the person didn't decide to testify and that's why it was dismissed, I mean, I got a problem with that because it just shows that could have been a pattern.
Lindsey, so you're a no on this?
I wouldn't vote for them, but they should be allowed to run. It's their right.
John?
That is that's a little bit heavier than I think a lot of the
like DUI and
yeah, I guess it's something I don't want to be involved with. You know what I mean? I don't think I could do it. And by the way, 100% right now online are saying no, they should not be allowed to run. 100%. I don't think we've ever had 100% poll before in one direction.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of participation in that poll? Or was it just one person?
I didn't.
No.
1 for 1.
We have a handful of results right now.
Well, I think, and I don't want to. I got to be careful because I don't want to lessen like an OWI. You could significantly put people in harm's way if you were driving intoxicated or impaired. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to make it sound like, oh, I'm okay with an OWI, but not with this. So I think this, to me, though, you are directly harming another person through your actions. You did it. In an OWI situation, you are potentially putting someone at risk, but if you're just pulled over, you didn't harm anybody. This would mean you harmed someone violently.
Well, I've been in politics for 17 years, and a person with a dishonorable discharge has run against me. Yep. A person that has filed for BK has run against me.
And has been our president.
A person that has not paid their property tax has run against me. People with OWIs have run against me. And last but not least, there is a person about to run for office that was charged with felony domestic battery. So these situations we came up with all have either happened in the recent past in Northwest Indiana or are currently happening. In the last case with the domestic battery, that's happening as we speak. And once this is official, we're going to talk about it specifically with names involved. But right now, this is a situation that's happening right now, believe it or not, John. Like the felony domestic battery is about to be the next topic of the day in Northwest Indiana because this is the exact situation that happened with a candidate for public office in the region.
Well, we'll have to follow that up.
If our poll is any indicator, it might not go well.
But like the person is saying, this was all a big misunderstanding, this felony charge, and my wife never testified against me. I should be allowed to run for office.
Well,
and
let's see how it comes out.
Wow.
We'll let it.
Believe it or not, that's why I wanted to do this, because I think it's crazy this person's even talking about running for office, and that's why I wanted to gauge your reactions. I think it's a joke, personally.
Wow.
Wow. Anyway, it's pretty heavy stuff, right?
Outstanding. Well, that's a good way to. We had some heavy talk today between.
Well, let's do one last good topipic. The
right.
Attorney General, William Barr.
Yeah, I don't see that as a stepping. I heard he stepped down, and I put it in quotes because that seems to me like he was basically the president was like,
he got fired.
You're fired.
You're fired, John.
And now he's part of the, like John said, now he's part of the deep state.
Barr is deep state, man.
He is the
John,
problem.
you're deep city.
He's a Bush carryover, right? Bush is.
Yeah.
No one's more deep state than Bush, guys. Come on.
Oh, boy. John. Yeah. I think anybody who all of a sudden is at the end of the rope with the president becomes deep state.
By the way, I
wrote a glowing letter, though, for the president.
He really did.
Well, he did. I know he did. It's crazy.
Great letter. And by the way, it's true. It's all true.
Oh, no, nothing wrong.
The Russia hoax. Come on. We talked about the Russia hoax, guys. We talked about it.
I forgot.
I heard that Governor Cuomo's on the short list for.
I heard it for AG.
For the next AG.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I love Governor.
I love Governor Cuomo, too.
Yeah, he's done
my God.
I'd love
leadership role.
I'd love him in that position.
I can't do this anymore.
I think
we just go off the air.
Governor Cuomo as the United States Attorney General, that would be outstanding for us.
I think he's got good credentials.
And then,
he did great. He left those nursing homes open.
Who was the first AG?
Give them Attorney General.
Who was our AG to begin with? That good old boy from.
Oh yeah, Jeff Sessions.
Jeff Sessions. Who, by the way, another apparently a deep state individual who the president went after.
I was bummed that it didn't work out with Sessions. I was bummed that it didn't work out with Mad Dog Mattis. I think these are like
not Mattis
killer people. I think they're great.
I wish
Mattis
I had a nickname
awesome.
of Mad Dog. Mad Dog McDermott.
I thought.
That is awesome.
Ew.
But to me,
Tom,
that tells
Mad
me something
Dog
about
McDermott.
Mad Dog.
No,
that's what you're going with.
Mad
Tombo.
Poodle.
Mad Poodle. Mad Lab.
Mad Lab McDermott. Mad Lab. Mad Lab.
I think it just tells. I mean, every time I see that, because I agree with you, John. Mattis was I thought a wonderful and great patriot, American, and good defense, head of defense. And letting a guy like that, or that guy, if a guy like that resigns and writes the letter he wrote, talk about a letter he wrote. I mean, it's like you get a little insight into what's going on. That concerns me. So.
All right. Well,
that's it. Wrap it up.
Pretty much done it all, said it all, I mean.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. Lindsey got married. ODs.
Yes. If I didn't have to be in court,
OWIs.
Automatic disqualifiers running for office.
That's a
good
domestic. By the domestic battery.
That was a good segment. You guys know.
Do you think there's going to be hijackings of these UPS and FedEx trucks with the vaccine?
I could tell you
the mob
No, the Hammond police are on alert for all the locations in Hammond that have the vaccine, which is numerous. The Hammond police are very aware of where they are, and we're watching.
I mean,
because they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars each shipment.
People hijack trucks for cigarettes. Mm-hmm. You really think they could go after a truck full of vaccine?
What would you do with the vaccine?
Black market.
If you stole it.
Okay, here. What do you?
If you're not keeping it cool, it's going to.
All right, let me ask you this.
Now, I would not take a vaccine that was stolen. Like some dude in the back alley wants to give me a shot. I think I'll probably skip that one.
Agreed. But if you could get one of those dry ice boxes from, let's say, Pfizer. Okay,
but so there's no monetary value.
Okay,
the government's paying for it.
Hold on. Let me say you're the king of I'm the 185th country that's going to get the vaccine, and you have oil reserves and billions of dollars, and you say, "Get me some of this vaccine." There's some people out there would go get it for you.
Some of this vaccine.
Yeah,
come on.
I need this vaccine.
Straight in my veins.
Hey,
let's
go.
There's a guy from Chicago, JoJo. It's got a whole shipment of it.
It's coming.
I'm going to go to JoJo. I'm the king of Saudi Arabia. I'm going to JoJo from Chicago to get my vaccine.
If I was number 180th on the country list to get the vaccine, I'm going to try to get it.
Dude, that was such a far-fetched story.
It's going to happen. Until it happens, John.
JoJo from Chicago has a whole shipment of it.
Until it happens.
All right. Well, you heard it all, everybody.
Yeah,
welcome to Left of Center. Now you know why we're Belgium's top-rated show.
The conspiracy theories going. Thanks
for listening. Friday we'll be back on the air at 7:30 a.m. with a guest.
We hope so.
We're working on the guest as we speak, but we appreciate you. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We appreciate you, our audience. Left of Center. Thanks to Kevin Smith. Thanks to Lindsey Lindsey McDermott and John Vesmar for all the help. We appreciate you, the audience. Vesmar. Thanks for coming to Left of Center. Take care, everybody.